So hello everyone and welcome back to another stream. We've got a hype train going. That is awesome. We haven't gotten too many of those, but we've had a few resubs. So thank you to Master Oshawott, Rain, and to K Joltix. Thank you for the resubs. Also, Evie's on my lap today, so we're gonna see how long that lasts, and hopefully it doesn't introduce too much extra chaos, but she wanted attention and just plunked herself right down and settled in, so I guess we're I guess we're having kitty snuggles during stream today. It might get a little bit difficult if I can't move my legs. It's a little bit, it's been getting to be on the chillier side somewhat lately. Not so much this week though. It's been kind of warm. But she's taken to liking to snuggle. And it's always when I'm in the middle of something. Yes, Rain did help me with the audio. Thank you very much for it. Hopefully nothing new and scuffed is gonna happen with it because we're trying to get it all set up. But hopefully it should be a little bit cleaner now. Stream audio is a little bit different from the way that I do my normal YouTube audio, so it's always been a little bit of an extra struggle. Okay. Everybody's kind of hungry. Can we feed them? No. So I'm gonna play with them a bit. We'll send them into the grass here. Also, we have the final semi-finalist air poll for Puma has gone up the other day to vote for which pup from her final litter should be the litter heir, and then after that we'll be moving into voting on which wolf we want to have continue the legacy as a whole. We'll do 2 semi-final rounds of voting, and then Suki, are you gonna go in the grass? There we go. We'll do 2 rounds of voting, and then oh, are you coming with us, Typhoon? Yeah, we can go hunting. I think that'd be a good idea. The whining back and forth is always so funny to me. But yeah, we will do a few final rounds of voting to narrow it down from there, because that'll bring us to 6 wolves as a potential heir, and beyond that. Oh, you know, I was gonna say... No, this is a bull elk herd anyway. I was gonna say, though, I think it's baby time, so we shouldn't be hunting the adults anyway. And yes, thank you to everyone who is lurking as well. You are always welcome, even if you're not hanging out in chat. Still great to have you here. Oh, I hope you feel better soon. I'm sorry you've not been feeling well. Yeah, Evie is a very particular kitty. She does not, like, when she wants attention, it's on her terms, but when she does, she just very much demands it. It's a little bit uncomfortable because I usually sit with my keyboard arm kind of in my lap, and there's a cat there right now. So I'm playing in a very strange configuration here with my arm up in the air. So I hope that doesn't get too crampy. She might get mad at me if I laugh hard enough and leave. But I always appreciate the snuggles. She's got a knack for knowing when I'm doing something. I don't think I'm gonna try to go after that baby anyway. I think it's a mule deer. She's got a knack for knowing when I'm in the middle of something or I'm gonna need to get up. And those are always the times that she picks to want to cuddle. So let's see. What happened to Clan Gen? So Clan Gen kind of is on hold right now. It's definitely something I want to go back to, but I've kind of pushed it to the waiting for updates thing, and some people are telling me that there are updates. I don't see one publicly yet, but I know they've been working on stuff in the Discord. So when we get those updates, Clan Gen will probably come back because I would like to check out some of the new features, but I don't see them publicly yet. I only see the build that I had, so I am gonna hold off a little bit. It's definitely a very fun game and a different, little bit of a different style from what I usually do. But it also kind of boils down to what people are interested in at a given time, and other people are more interested in other things after we explored some of the initial content. So it can just depend. If there's a particular series you like, one of the things you can do to help it continue is, like, tell other folks about it who you think might be interested in watching it, because I generally look just to the views as a metric of how much interest there is in a series. So if a series is continuing to get views, then most likely, unless it's a game that's like story based and we get to the end of the content that we have to explore, I'll pretty much continue it as long as there's interest. Hey, we got the hype train finished up. All right. Wait, did we get... we get extra? No, we got... Okay, I'm trying to see what all happened. I think we had the 3 subs. But yeah. I don't know if watching it over and over again in quick succession helps or not. You can always try it and see. But definitely if there's an older series that you like to, rewatching that is it is perfectly fine as well. But yeah, that's kind of just the metric that I look at as to what people are interested in. I do have to follow interest a little bit. Sometimes I'll continue playing stuff on Plus, like we're gonna have more Wandering Village on Plus, because I really like that one, even if there's not a huge amount of community interest all the time. I've really been enjoying it. Also, my goodness, Evie, I love you, but why are you so warm? It is a little bit of a warmer day still, and I'm not not faring so well with this because my computer is very hot as well, and I have a very warm kitty. Oh my goodness, she is just so settled though. She never does this. She might do it more in the winter months. We'll have to see, and I might appreciate it even more in the winter months. But she is just absolutely snuggled. I don't know how long she's gonna stay here, but she might be here for a bit. Yeah, that's true. Music videos get a ton of views getting watched over and over again. I don't know exactly how YouTube counts things. I know there is some kind of something to try and measure unique views, but yeah, that is true as well. Aw, and no worries. Like, again, not everybody's gonna know people. I guess it's one of those things where, like, word of mouth is definitely incredibly helpful for YouTube, but also not everyone's gonna have access to, like, a wide circle of friends who like the same thing, so it kind of just depends. I got very distracted from, okay. I was like, why is my phone buzzing? And it's apparently raining. And then the more you know. I guess it's cloudy today. It's been, I don't know, it's been a change. We're gonna talk about the weather again a little bit here. It's been a change to get used to just like random storms, random rainstorms. Did Typhoon went back, I guess. Did he just not follow us at all? He may not have. I thought he was gonna come with us, but okay, I guess not. But yeah, it's definitely been a change to get used to being in a place where it's just like, oh, okay, it's raining now. Like, it was always, whenever that happened in California, there was always a lot of lead up. It was always like, you knew if there was a storm coming because it didn't happen often. But out here, it's like, okay, it's overcast. Oh, it's raining. Okay. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, not everybody's gonna have a wide circle of friends that like the same things they do, so it's whatever anybody has access to. Word of mouth is helpful if you know other people who might be interested, but if you don't, you know, that's the way it is. Yes, Red Lantern was a thing, and where in the heck? Where? Okay, it's down here. I'm gonna just go in scent view so that I can see. Oh, it's on this little slope here. That's what it is. Red Lantern was a thing, and Red Lantern will probably be a thing again. It's actually one that I might revisit for the holidays, because I think they have some fun little holiday Easter eggs as well, so it might be one of our winter series. It may be on Plus, we'll see, but it kind of just depends. I don't know, I haven't 100% sorted out my winter schedule yet. December is going to be a little bit of an interesting month, and we'll probably take a break from streaming during most of it. But don't worry, we'll have some other fun stuff too, and we're gonna hopefully have some fun things happening in the sub server as well. So if you are still subbed, even if we don't do a lot of streams, we'll probably still have some fun other things going on. But yeah, I'll have more details on that as I actually clarify what in the heck is happening. But it seems like it's gonna be a bit of a busy month. Oh goodness, Evie, what are you doing, hun? I'm sorry, my arm has to be there. I have to play games. I know it's in your face. I know you don't like it. I just ask that you don't start biting. Evie is a good cat, but she communicates with her teeth sometimes. Not hard, but she definitely is eyeing my arm right now, and I'm a little worried she's just gonna take a nibble. She's not happy about having my arm where she wants to put her head. So we'll see. You silly one. You are a silly one. I know. You're like, why are you moving? Why are you making it uncomfortable? Baby, I promise it's not on purpose, but I have to do a live stream. And yes, we do have a multiplayer event this Saturday at 3, I believe. That is 3 p.m. Central Time. So we do have a multiplayer event coming up here that'll be very, very fun, hopefully. Those are always some fun chaos if you want to get in on that. That's a bear. All right, then. That's just a bear. Just chilling. October 29th at 3 p.m. at Central Standard Time, indeed. Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at some of the Halloween decor in the classic Lost River map. What are you doing, Evie? Hi. Hello, what you doing? She's just like bumping my arm with her head. Goodness gracious. She is. Sometimes I look at her and I can just see it in her eyes that she is contemplating taking a little nibble. And it's not like it's a very intentionally gentle bite whenever she does it. She doesn't just haul off and go chomping. I'm still trying to teach her not to do it because I still don't really want her to be biting, but I don't know. Some cats, I think, are just a little bit bitier than others. And I think she knows she's not supposed to do it. And she's still, like... I can see her weighing it in her head. And considering, oh, do I want to bite? And thinking about it. And mulling it over. And debating if she's going to get in trouble for it or not. And sometimes she decides to do it anyway. Like, it's a very intentional thing for her. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to... This is the bear again. I just want to find this elk calf, man. I just want to find this elk calf. I need to bring back food for the babies. Ooh, that's awesome. I hope you're able to join in. That'd be fun. Ooh, being a dragon for Halloween is fun. I used to have a toothless costume that I had made, and I went as toothless for several years because of that. You are really just crashed here, aren't you, honey? She does not do this normally. She really doesn't. I can only assume that it's the winter weather. Oh. Oh, no, you're seeing. She's like a 4 on the bitey scale. She will, but not hard, never hurt, just cause mischief. Exactly. That is exactly what it is. It is a 100% intentional thing that she is aware is a source of mischief. And I think she does that when she jumps up on my counter, too. I think to a degree, she knows because, like, she's been told, you know what, I'm just going for this moose calf. I'm just gonna go for this moose calf. I didn't notice this was here, and it's easier, probably, if we don't get kicked by the mother. But yeah, she knows that I'm not fond of her being on my counter, I think, because she only ever does it when I'm not looking. And then whenever I run in, whenever I go in the room and I see her there, she always looks so surprised to see me. I'm like, honey, why do you do these things? So, she's a very, very funny cat, and I love her dearly. But sometimes she's a bit of a gremlin. Oh my goodness. Oh, I gotta watch this moose. Oh my goodness. Yeah, some cats, like, never bite at all. Other cats will bite with some frequency. Oh, goodness. Am I gonna have to get you to move? Yes. You gonna chase me? Yes. There we go. Man, they really chase you sometimes, don't they? Goodness! Excuse? There we go. Alright. Aww. Oh yeah, kittens definitely do bite. Yeah, they kind of have to be taught not to. And I think that, too, can depend on socialization. A lot of that... Oh, are you leaving? Ma'am, please don't perch on my armrest. Okay, thank you. She looked for a second like she was just gonna sit there on my armrest, just chilling. She's gone off to probably settle down on my couch, honestly. I'm gonna bring this back, but we'll probably go find another one as well. Yeah, kittens usually will play bite. They kind of have to be taught not to. That's a lot of that socialization, is getting taught that, hey, biting hurts. Don't be too aggressive with it. Um but yeah, some of it can depend on how well a kitty is socialized and what experiences they had with other cats or humans at a young age. Some of it, I think, is just personality. Beanie was a very bitey cat, actually. We just didn't necessarily pay the most mind to it because he also didn't have teeth. He had some dental issues, and in the end he ended up he had his teeth removed, and he was fine. Like, he lived most of his life like that. I think happier for not having bad teeth. But he would just chomp. And it was entirely ineffective, so we never really told him to stop. But he was a very bitey cat. If he had had his teeth, I think that would have gotten an end put to it much quicker. So some cats just are more chompy than others, because Shadow never bit. She would not bite you. And then some cats are just more like that. And then there was my old cranky grandma cat that I had when I was really young, who would bite as a warning. She was not afraid to resort to violence. She had been a feral and was a feisty one. We called her our cranky old grandma kitty. Cats can be socialized to, like, belly pets, yeah. And usually when they, like, grab your arm, too, it's more of a play thing. It's not, I mean, it kind of is a haha, I got you, because it's, you know, it's playful, but it's not, they're not tricking you. It's just, you know, oh, playtime now, I grab hand. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, I think it just really depends on whatever specific experiences and personality a cat has. It totally varies from individual to individual. Cats are very varied. Like, a lot of people don't see them as such, but they are very distinct individuals for sure. Oh, that's not fun. I hope that they're able to figure out what's causing it and at least keep it under control. Oh. But yeah, different kitties have different preferences. There are some cats that'll be just fine with belly pats. There are some cats that just will never like them. It really just depends. Some like to be held, some like don't. Evie's not super a lap cat. It's, like I said, it's very on her terms. There are some cats that just constantly want to be right there with you, so it just depends. But Evie is a very social cat, I've noticed. She wants to hang out, like, introvert style. She wants to chill in the same room as me, but she doesn't want to necessarily be on my lap or be being pet constantly. She'll just kind of hang out wherever I'm at the time. So having her actually snuggle on my lap like that was pretty uncommon. She's usually not super fond of it, and usually if I so much as move or breathe wrong, she's like, okay, I leave now. So, cats haven't been bred for personality and lifestyles as much as dogs have, but there's a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of the thing too, is a lot of dog breeds had very specific purposes. That's why you have dogs ranging in size from, you know, Chihuahuas to Great Danes, and whereas cats. Yeah, cats have still had jobs throughout history. They've been used for pest control a lot. They were kind of the natural pest control for years, centuries of human history, but not to the same degree as, you know, we have guard dogs, we have herding dogs, we have, like, the terrier dogs bred to hunt animals in burrows. There's dogs that were bred for tracking, there's dogs that were bred for defense, there's some that were bred just to be lap dogs, or watchdogs. You know, there's so many different roles that dogs have played, or sled dogs throughout history, that it shows up more distinctly in breed characteristics than it does for cats. And so that's, I think, why people are generally more aware of dog personalities. Okay, we gotta expedite this. We're gonna start to lose our energy. All right, I might be able to get a bite here. I'm trying to get, okay, there we go. We're on the run now. Yeah, even big dog breeds can sometimes be very affectionate and want to be lap dogs. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Oh yeah, sometimes cats have like a particular... Ow! Excuse me? What the heck? Yeah, soapbox hunting mode again. This is dangerous to do with a moose. Probably not the best of creatures to do this with. Oh yeah, miniature schnauzers are definitely bred to be rodent hunters. And that's why it's important to, like, especially with dogs, but also with cats, to, hello? To know what their task was meant to be. So, like, my dog growing up was a German Shepherd mix, and she had incredibly strong herding tendencies. She also had very bad separation anxiety because she wanted her pack to all be together at all times, and so if somebody wasn't there, she'd get really upset. But a lot of that goes back to, you know, she was a German Shepherd. She was a dog that was bred for herding and guarding. So, you know, she had those strong herding tendencies, and she wanted to protect her pack. And there were a few incidences where we had an interesting situation where there could have been an element of danger involved, and she was very protective. And it was honestly really nice. But, yeah, you know, understanding that, and that was why she had so much energy in the way that she did, was really important, because, you know, that's, people type animals, especially dogs, but cats to a degree as well, as certain characteristics, and sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, but especially with dog breeds that were bred for certain roles, there's a reason they are the way they are. Huskies have so much energy because they're bred to pull sleds. They needed that energy in order to be able to pull a sled all day. And so, you know, if they're not getting that energy out in a constructive way, it's probably going to come out in a destructive way. So it's things to be aware of before you get a pet. Okay, Typhoon's going to eat. That's fine. We can also feed these guys. Oh yeah, poodles are famous for not shedding, so people like them as casual pets. Without enough research on their hunting dog history, people will get a very unexpected temperament. Yeah, that is what Rain has said, and that is true. Yeah, Great Danes as well. I don't know exactly what the history of Great Danes is, but they do seem to be very affectionate dogs from what I've seen, despite being, like, absolutely frickin' massive. But yeah, that's another thing too, is like people think of, oh, you know, Labradors, you know, they're kind of just a happy-go-lucky pet. Well, they're hunting dogs. They're gonna have potentially some energy. They were bred to be game dogs, and so, you know, they're gonna have some of those instincts in them because that's what centuries of selective breeding have done. So it's important to be aware of with any animal, but even with dogs and cats, despite being like the quote-unquote easy, or with some cat breeds too, like, you know, Bengals are known for having a lot of energy because they are a more recent descendant of wildcats, of, I believe, servals. Am I getting that right, Rain? I think that's right. That they're a more recent descendant, so, but they still have a lot of those wild instincts, more so than a lot of cat breeds, and so they can have higher energy. They're less afraid of water, and they are more likely to have a high energy level. And that's important to be aware of, because you might need to walk your cat if you have a cat breed that's like that. So it just depends. Oh. Well, I was gonna talk about some of the comments, but we're not gonna do that at this present moment. Hold the phone. I'm not gonna read chat during a bear attack. I'm just not. We're just not doing that. If I can find where this bear is from. There's the bear. Alright. No, not a fan of this. Truly not a fan of this. All the puppies are hidden. You have nothing to be here for. You can go. You can leave. You are not welcome here. You are not wanted here. You can go. Please leave. Please go. Oh, Typhoon, be careful. Come on, sir. Okay. Okay. Nope, not a fan of this. Really not a fan of this. Get out. Go on. No, sir. You can leave. Oh, boy. All right. It's time to go, buddy. You've caused enough problems. It's time to go. Get out. Get out. You've done nothing but cause a disturbance. All right. All right. Let's sleep. Heaven knows Typhoon's gonna need it. Yeah, you can eat first. That'd be good to heal. I think we have permadeath off. I hope so, because, not fond of that one. I'm gonna snag this bunny, though. You want a greyhound one day, people think they're high energy, but they're really chill and gentle. Yeah, I've heard that they can be. I think they still do need that, energy output, but I have heard a lot of them can end up being really, really sweet pets as well. And if you, like, even if you have a high energy animal, if you have a proper outlet for that energy, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to know what your animal's needs are going to be. Oh no. Yeah, the only mates that we've ever lost in this game have been to bears. I think eagles have me the most scared for my pups. Great. Bears have me the most scared for my mate. I guess technically we don't need to sleep again, do we? Oh, okay, it's Suki. Okay, how is our territory? Now, we did still need to sleep again. Okay. I'm gonna go really quickly find food. Goodness. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a thing you have to be aware of with guarding dogs as well, is they don't always, depending on how well they're socialized or not, they don't always read body language. So, like, Sierra would get really upset if people hugged because to her it looked like fighting. And I think we eventually did get her somewhat more desensitized to that, but she would, wow. All right, then. I guess I'll bring that back real quick, then. But yeah, she would misinterpret that frequently. And so it's something you have to kind of be aware of how dogs will understand body language differently. And animals in general as well. They don't necessarily always communicate the same way people do. And you need to be aware of what those differences in communication are, both for your sake and for theirs. But yeah, I was gonna say too, there definitely is a mix of factors when it comes to dog breeds. There are some breeds that get troped as being very aggressive, and I think there's always two sides to that coin, because a lot of it does go into how you raise and train the dog, and there's a lot of dogs of those breeds that can do absolutely fine. And I think that it's less about, I think it really does go back to the understanding in that case as well, because you need to be aware of what particular instincts an animal is going to have, and if there are any special considerations that you might need. So, like, for example, there are some dogs that have a high prey drive, and they're not recommended to be kept around other animals, because no matter how much you train them, you just never know if something's going to kick in wrong. So it's something to be aware of and to consider, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you should never have that kind of dog as a pet, for example. And I think that's the case with a lot of the dogs that are typically considered to be fighting breeds as well. You need to be aware of what special considerations they might have in what they were bred for. It doesn't mean they need to be outright banned or whatever. Sorry, this is a little bit soapboxy again. But it just, whatever the case may be, it all goes back to the awareness. Yeah, food aggression is another thing that can be a problem that you need to be aware of, and it can be trained, but you usually want to be really careful. Anything that has to do with aggression is something that you most likely are going to want to have, like, a professional dog trainer involved with, because it's very... you want to be extra careful with that. But yeah, that is always disappointing when someone gets an experience soured with a particular breed due to a bad experience, especially when it was one that arose by misunderstanding. That's always disappointing. Oh no. Really? I didn't know that the mates in this can die when they're off by themselves. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It was Nimbus, Kira's mate Nimbus, went off by himself once and picked a fight with some bison. We watched it happen. We had permadeath off, but I don't know why he did that. I still don't know why he did that. Goodness. See you later, Nexus. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, mystery deaths definitely would be crazier than known ones. Hello, snack time. Yeah, Nimbus was like them's fighting herds. Yeah, he just walked off and started throwing hands. I was like, dude, what are you on? Yeah, it was way back in, I think, litter number 1 that he did that. All right, oh, there's an elk around here too. All right, I'm gonna eat this one then, and we're gonna bring back the elk calf. If we can find it. Oh boy. How are the pups doing? I do want to spend some time with Suki as well. I don't want to be gone all day because we want to make sure, okay, her health is not dropping quickly. That's a relief because we slept the entire night. She got sick midway through and we've been gone for half the day and her health's at 80, so it's not a rapid illness. That means we'll probably have a lot of time to be able to spend with her. I swear, like, I don't know, I swear the illnesses progress at different rates, and I don't know what causes it, but I'm, like, so sure about that, and I can't technically prove it, but, like, it just, I'm very sure that that's the case, because some of them just go so much faster than others, it feels like. Alright, where is this baby? Find this baby, goodness. Over here? No. She has hidden her child very, very well. Alright, up here maybe? No. This is kind of a woodsy area too, which is unfortunate because I would like to find... Oh, goodness. Wow, losing a mate to old age in springtime is rough. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's really rough. We've not had it, I think, yeah, the only one that we've had pass away to old age was actually Koji, because he was the same age as Puma, and that was very late in the year. So, we've not had to raise a litter alone yet. That's probably, I know there's an achievement, the whole I'm juggling as fast as I can achievement, I think it is. There's one for raising a litter by yourself for most of it. And I'm sure we'll get that eventually. It's one of the ones that I don't actually have yet. It's one of those ones where either it'll happen naturally in a story or eventually if it gets to the point where we've not gotten it, I might plan a challenge around it. But that'd be something that we do probably in our challenge series. Alright, I straight up cannot find this baby. Yeah, Koji died literally right before it finished. It was very, very... very powerful emotional moment. I think, well, I can't say that because we've only had 2 wolves who've aged out, but I definitely think all of the deaths that we've had with both for player wolves and for mates have been very impactful because they all happened in super dramatic ways. Those are your babies. I don't want to mess with them. They're not chompable. But yeah, they've all ended up being super impactful because both of the wolves that we've had that have died of old age, we're with them for so long and they had such incredible stories the whole way along that when we finally reached that ending, it really hurt. And the same for, I mean, Koji was with us from the start as well, but I think with Maple's series and the mates that she lost, there was just so much drama around that. Oh, this is an elk. That works out. It happened in such startling and dramatic ways that ended up being also quite an impact for sure as well. Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of people say that Koji probably ended up dying of the fallout of his injuries from a bear attack, which It's not something that the game confirmed, but I definitely think it's a theory that makes a lot of sense. Aww. Oh no! That is very sad. Alright, we're gonna head back. I think here, I want to hang out with Suki as much as we can. We'll just bring back this food. There is one territory hex. Ooh, there's a few that are kind of going down. Our territory tomorrow might be kind of bad. So hopefully Suki will recover. Great. Let's put this here. Oh, we've got... Okay, they haven't finished the meal, dear Fawn. Typhoon, do you need to eat? I guess he's not that hungry. Alright, we'll hang out here for a little bit, and hopefully that will assist us here. Oh, we've already lost a pup to illness this litter. We don't need to lose another. I don't want to lose Suki to this. Aww. I do like that the game kind of gives you the option of having that last day. It's a lot, like, it was a very good way of doing it, because if it was just that your wolf straight up died overnight with no warning whatsoever, I think that would be really jarring. So it's good that they give you that warning, because that kind of lets you have that final moment of closure. I think it's a superbly done system, but my goodness, does it have a heck of an emotional impact. Oh, the sprint button, oh my goodness, that seems like an issue if the sprint button is the same button used for that. Oh my, yeah, that seems like a bit of an issue. Oh, Suki, don't get too far away, no. No. We're gonna hang out over here. How is she doing? Yeah, that's very strange. Okay, she's at 70%. We'll try to stay as close as we can. I kind of want to send these guys into the grass, though. I don't know, I find at the rendezvous site, if the pups are just sleeping, that I prefer to have them sleep in the grass rather than right next to the grass, because otherwise it's a little bit of an issue. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. I think it would have to be like a combination of buttons, but, I think Evie must have gone out to my front room. She likes to sleep on the couch. The whole back stretch of grass here is just absolutely coated with leaves now. I think they all must be starting to fall. Which is gonna be interesting. It's the start of... Yeah, we're going into the start of winter. Oh! Alright, this is exactly why I keep the pups in the grass. Who's looking for a butt kicking? Who's signed up for this? I don't see... Oh, that was not. Oh. You find him, Typhoon? Yes. Oh my goodness. Junction Butte. Typhoon isn't even gonna give him the chance to fight. Yeah, you get 1F. Goodness. Causing problems on purpose. Oh, quick heal is there normally. Okay. I see. Alright. Yeah, no, they ain't gonna get the chance to heck around. Welcome, Emeralds. Yeah, we've got a little bit left, but we're hanging out with Suki right now because Suki is sick at the moment. Don't think 66. All right. Oh boy. I guess it's not a huge amount, although we are gonna have to sleep soon. I don't think her health will run out overnight if we sleep. If it looks like it's going to, I'll stay up part of the night, though, I think. Oh, it's a hidden thing in the controller rebind menu. I feel like I don't have the brain power usually to rebind my controls because I get used to the default and I forget what they are. Like, don't get me wrong, it's an incredibly helpful feature to have, but it makes my head spin. Rebinding controls for the frickin' Minecraft mod pack was an experience, and I'm still not done with it. I have to go through and finish logging everything. And that's one of the trickier parts about something like this. So I never have I never have the brain power to actually reconfigure my control scheme unless there's something that I'm like actually having a hard time using, because I just won't remember it. Aw, yeah, I know. I'm hoping Suki will be alright. She's not losing health super fast, but even the slower illnesses, if they end up running for a while, can be very, very dangerous. Oh, you make every game similar to Minecraft now. That's smart. Oh, that's valid, yeah. I am not good at controller. Like, I technically have one. I grew up PC gaming, so I'm like, I didn't really console game enough to get used to the controller control scheme. And so, like, it's been, whenever I play a game that needs controller, which I do occasionally, I'm always so lost. I end up just hitting buttons and forgetting where everything is. Okay, we're probably gonna have to sleep pretty soon here. Oh goodness, Typhoon still has his injuries too. He's chilling over there. Hopefully if we sleep again, he'll at least get a little bit better, and recover from his injuries here. Yeah, again, too, like, I think having controller and keyboard support for a game, if it's not, like, something that's super simple, definitely is a very good idea, because different people are going to prefer different things for different reasons. That's kind of a thing, too, with, like, I don't know, whenever I've researched into game design and accessibility, the biggest takeaway that I've had from it is that accessibility is options more than it is creating a game in one specific way, because what works for one person might be harder for another. So allowing options is generally one of the best things you can do for accessibility, it seems. That's kind of been my takeaway from whenever I, because, like, you know, I'm interested in game design and stuff, so sometimes I research into this, and most of what I've seen on that subject is there is an element of designing with accessibility in mind, but a lot of that design goes into providing options, because, like, even if you think about color blindness, okay, so WolfQuest did change their map colors at one point, and I think part of that was to help with color blindness. But there's so many different kinds of color blindness, and depending on how your game is set up, it might be more efficient to have a mode, or to have several different modes that emphasize different colors differently to account for different types of color blindness. So it's very rarely designing the game in one specific way that works for everyone, is more often providing options that will allow different people to customize things in a way that will help them. Yeah, key rebinding is definitely, like I said, I don't always use it because I don't have the brain power for it, but it's so helpful for people who need to have a different configuration, because sometimes the default configuration doesn't work well, and how it doesn't work well can depend on, you know, any number of factors. I read something recently about how a lot of the default control scheme for, like, I think for controllers, but, like, for the Nintendo and DS, came to be thinking about, like, how children have smaller hands. A lot of those games are played by children, and they shouldn't be struggling to reach the buttons and to do things that require you to stretch your hand in a way that's going to be harder for someone who has smaller hands. Okay, we gotta sleep now. And, like, that's such a genius design philosophy, because it's something that is super important if you have an audience of children and you're designing games for. They need to be able to play the games you're designing. So, but, you know, there's any number of things that can go into that. I'm gonna sleep, by the way. There's any number of things that can go into it, like what happens if somebody doesn't have all of their fingers? How do you account for that? Well, key rebinding would let them rebind controls in a way that would be more manageable for them to use. There's any number of, I'm just spitballing different examples here. The thing is, like, I personally, I think it's virtually impossible. Okay, we probably need to stay up the night. I think it's gonna be virtually impossible to predict every possible outcome because there's such a variety of different human experiences. Like, we're all human. There's going to be some things that are common to it, but we also are going to experience things a little bit differently in some ways too, just depending on us as individuals. So the biggest thing is providing what options you can think of and then listening if people tell you that there's something that is not working for them and thinking, is there a way that I can accommodate this? That's kind of the design philosophy that I have, because, like, I don't expect that I'm going to be able to predict everything in designing a game, but I would hope that I would have players who are giving feedback and telling me, hey, this particular thing doesn't work well for me, and here's why. And I think listening to that feedback is going to be the more important thing there, because that's going to allow me to account for things I would have never otherwise seen coming. So, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, too, is ideally tooltips change to reflect your key rebindings. Because otherwise you're going to be very, very confused. Yeah, adults who play Nintendo Switch can buy Pro controllers since they're bigger. Yeah, exactly. Why is my voice doing this? Hello? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Goodness Volcano. I think key rebinding is a super important feature that helps make a lot of games a lot more accessible to people that they wouldn't be otherwise. If it's something really simple, like a point and click, you might not need to allow a huge amount of rebinding. But for a game, especially a game that's more complex, like WolfQuest or like Minecraft, there's a lot of things that could be difficult for a person to use depending on what their particular situation is. So you want to allow that rebinding, especially with a game that has as many control options that you need to use, because, like, you know, there's a button for emos, there's a button for resting, there's a button for running, there's a button for sprinting, for walking, for moving. There's all these different things that you need to be doing in WolfQuest, and if that wasn't rebindable, that would really limit it for a lot of people. Even point and click should still have a left-handed roll, exactly. Or left-handed mode. Yeah, definitely. It's just all these things that, and like, that's, I don't know, that's something that I've found as I've gotten older, is the ability to think outside of your own experience is something you learn with age. I really think learning that your experience is not universal, learning how to listen to others is a very learned skill. It's not something that just happens. You kind of acquire the understanding of how to do that with time, or you should. Some people won't. But ideally, that's something that you learn with time. And that's why, I guess, I don't know, I don't like this idea of treating it as a moral failure to not know something, because knowledge is learned. Very little knowledge is innate. And it is hard to imagine how people live lives in ways that are different to your own experience just because it is different. And so, I don't know, I don't like this idea that not automatically understanding someone else's experience, I guess I just think that it's a little silly. Not trying to understand, sure, is a problem. But not understanding automatically, that's just part of being a human. Just means that there's things you don't know, which is common to all of us. Not to go off on another soapbox there. Yeah, Volcano just straight up pieced out. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're able to find your pup. Sometimes they do just go yeeting off into the unknown there. Alright, how are we doing? Oh boy. Well, if everybody's just chilling around, yeah, right, exactly. This is exactly what I was gonna say. I'm gonna send the pups back. You can go. You can leave. You can get out of here. Ah, Typhoon did the look away emote. Yeah, I think the fact that the other NPCs in this will react and emote to you is also a really good thing. It just adds that extra bit of life to the game. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're winning points at least. Oh yeah, the achievement with the pup wandering off and not coming back is the one that we haven't gotten yet. I could see us getting that in an upcoming series. There is one series that we have upcoming that I could see that being a very much more real threat than it tends to be in a lot of our games. Yeah, last prediction. I'm not gonna end this off until we know what's gonna happen with Suki. So, yeah, we're gonna chill here for a little bit and then we'll wrap up. Aww. I eventually I want to get all the achievements. I'm not gonna get some of them intentionally. I'm gonna let them happen and it'll be a heartbreaking story element when it occurs. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to try and make it happen. Yep, Rat is one wolf who's at threat of that, and I'm still astonished that we made it through a couple of those days. But yeah, any wolf that can't use the vocal emotes, that would be a heck of a challenge. Really would. So, Rat will be coming back, by the way, hopefully very soon. There is a little something that I'm waiting to announce for her next episode here. Yes! Everybody really loves Rat, and I'm glad for that. I know her series has been stuck in schedule heck for a bit, but as we're winding down some of our other series here, I think we'll have more time. Yes! Rat will be returning. Rat will be returning. A lot of people always ask me about Rats. And I'm so glad for that. I do very much want to play her story all the way through at some point. But I think I'm working on ways to avoid juggling so many different series and lineages, because I think sometimes that can be more difficult to keep up with. So we're going to be playing a little bit more rotationally from here on out. Alright. Oh boy. This is kind of just the really rough waiting part of it. Is this the moonlight? It might be moonrise. I think it might be moonrise right now. Yeah. The anxiety is very, very real right now. Yep, it is kind of just a waiting game. Unfortunately. It's hard because, like, you can still just go out and do things, but I don't know, I just never can bring myself to, I mean, with certain characters maybe they would, but with most of our rules I just can't bring myself to do it. I have to at least try to wait it out. But that does get risky because you can see our territory is going, so hopefully whatever the result of this is, we're able to mark that the next day. Ooh. Yeah, we had one pup who recovered on 1% health. And that is the only time that's ever happened. But it was very, very dramatic. Oh boy. Oh no. That's so sad, Circle. Oh, yo, thank you for the gift sub. Here's hoping, here's hoping. Oh. Really hoping that we will have a happy ending here, y'all, but can't always guarantee that. Aw, I hope you enjoy your sub. Alright. 6%. Oh dear. Yeah, that's always very worrying. Yeah, I do think it's interesting to play wolves with different mentalities, because I think a lot of our wolves do tend to choose to stay back, but there are some who tend to prioritize more taking care of the territory, for example. It can kind of depend on the wolf, and where they make that call. And I think it definitely would be interesting. I don't think we've had any wolves who are more survivalistic, I guess. We haven't had any that are super to the point of, it's like, well, I'm not staying back at all. I'm just gonna go do my thing. So we've not really had any that have been totally to that extreme, but we've had a few who have said, okay, I need to make sure that I stay on top of the territory, or make sure that I stay on top of the hunting. I think everybody's doing okay on food right now. But yeah, I think it would be, at some point, I'm sure we'll have a wolf that's more just survival oriented. And I think it's interesting that the game affords you the option to play with those differences. Oh, it's cloudy is what I'm seeing. Okay. Oh boy, man. Oh, are we... We are out of energy, aren't we? That didn't do anything. Alright. We're just gonna stay, I suppose. Like, maybe I can get 2 more points of wakefulness. But I guess not. Oh, y'all. I'm still hoping for a miracle, but it does not seem that likely. Oh. Oh boy. At least it doesn't look like there's any imminent attack, at least from what I can tell. Yeah. Man, that's both of the girls this litter too have gotten sick. Oh, man! Oh my goodness. Well, I guess lightning strikes twice. Wow. Well, y'all, that's not something that you see every day. Oh my goodness. 1%. She's already healing a little bit too, which is good because I don't want her getting snatched by something right after healing. Oh my goodness. Well, I was afraid we'd have to leave off on a tragedy, but it looks like Suki's gonna get another chance here. But we are gonna leave this off here for today. We'll come back next time and let Hurricane get some heckin' sleep, because goodness gracious, yeah, we've probably thrown off our sleep schedule. I hope it's not too dark on the Twitch for y'all. I know YouTube doesn't really like the nighttime scene. But yeah, oh, perhaps it is something to do with Oceania's memory. It could be. She and Suki did seem to be quite close. But I think we'll go ahead and leave this off here for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and to drop a follow at twitch.tv/jzx535 so that you can see when we're next going live. And don't forget, if you're watching this as it is live, that we are on the 29th of October 2022 going to be having a community event at 3 p.m. Central Time in the sub server. So if you're interested in joining in or watching, depending on how many slots or how many people we have, if there's not always enough slots for everybody, but everybody who's not able to participate in game still gets to watch. If you're interested in that, definitely make sure to check that out. That is available to everyone who is subbed on Twitch or on Patreon or a YouTube channel member. But I will see you guys next time, and until then, this is Jay, over and out.